So you just installed your brand new Shepherd lock on the door and are ready to pair to the app and start using it. I'm Mike Johnson with Shepherd Lock, and I'm here to walk you through the pairing and commissioning process. So, first of all, we're going to take off the plastic and make this guy's new home official. There we go. So, we're also going to want to make sure that you installed the batteries, and I'm going to put them in now just to show you what you'll expect when you first put them in. Those guys come in. And you're going to hear the chime and see the LEDs, and that tells you that your lock is awake and ready to pair to your phone. So, in the user manual, there's going to be two different sleeves. One is going to have your device code, the other is going to have the complete pairing process. This guy is going to walk us through getting the app, pairing to the lock, and calibrating the lock on the door. So we're just going to walk through these three steps. So step one, we're going to go in and get the app. Before we do that, we're going to make a quick pit stop at settings. We're going to go to Bluetooth. We're going to make sure that our Bluetooth is on. Then we're going to head over to the App Store, or the Play Store if you have an Android, and we're going to download the app. All right, so you're going to see a whole bunch of permissions pop up. We're going to hit OK. For this one, we're going to make sure that we select the Allow While Using app. We're going to allow it to run in the background. Now we're ready to pair to the lock. So we're going to take it over close to the lock. We're going to tap to add a new lock. It's going to scan, and it found Shepherd. Now it's asking for that device code. So we're going to grab this guy and go ahead and enter that in. Perfect. So paired to the lock, we got a couple of blinking LEDs to confirm. So now we're going to give it a nickname. We'll just call it the front door. We'll give our address a nickname. We'll just call it home. And we'll put in our address, and we're going to click Add Device. We're going to confirm all the information we just entered. And now it's going to go through and check for any new firmware in the cloud. If it finds a new firmware available, it'll download it and program it to the lock. So it didn't find any new firmware. That means we're up to date. So we didn't have a firmware upgrade in this case. If we did, we would be seeing some yellow flashing lights here, which are going to keep on flashing until the upgrade is complete. After that, it's going to come to this screen where it's going to ask us to calibrate. We're going to push that button there, hit start, and come to a very important question, whether or not you have a metal door. If you do have a metal door, we turn off the touch feature on the outside because that's not supported on metal doors at the moment. However, all of the other functions are still going to work. Your inside touch is going to work, the keys are going to work. When you come up to your door, you're just going to pull out your phone and hit the unlock button as opposed to touching it. In this case, we do not have a metal door, so we're going to select non-metal door. Hit the select button up here. Now it's going to go through and do its thing. We're just going to sit back and wait for a second. I'm going to switch to this side. All right, so now it's asking us whether or not the lock is in a locked position. So we're just going to peek in here and see whether or not the bolt is extended into the door frame or if it's retracted back into the door. If it's retracted, we're going to hit yes. Now it's going to ask us to open the door, so we're going to open it and just let it sit for a second. And you want to hold it still at this point. Now we're going to close the door. And we're done. So we're going to hit the done button. Now it's going to take us back to the home screen. And now we can use the lock. So now I'm going to take you through an error mode that may occur if your door is misaligned. So you'll recall in a previous video, we talked about making sure that your door is aligned with the door frame, and that if it's not, you're going to have a few trouble points. If it's misaligned, or if you just didn't shut the door all the way before you started calibration, you could run into this situation. So we're going to go here to settings, diagnostics, down here, and we're just going to recalibrate. Start now. Now what's going to happen, hit start, metal door, is it's going to go through and do its initial check where it's trying to figure out what side of the door it's on, which is a pretty cool feature. Right there, it's going to get stuck when it tries to hit the frame. So what the lock just figured out is that it can't move that bolt the amount that it's supposed to, and that something is blocking it, which is most likely the door frame. In this scenario, you're either going to need to make sure that you put enough pressure on the door to make sure that it's shut when you do the calibration, or just shut it if it wasn't all the way closed. And then you'll be able to calibrate your lock. That error that you just saw, the purple flashing LEDs and that beeping, that tells you that you ran into something and you just have to make the adjustments and try again. So now, that is how to calibrate our lock.